Good morning and happy Thursday, everybody. It's a beautiful day outside and there's a lot to look forward to today. Whether you're a kid and today could very well be your last day of school for the year, or if you're a full-grown, stupid adult like I am and looks forward to the new episode of Hot Ones every Thursday, there's something to look forward to on the horizon. I'd like to take this opportunity to really get into detail about the two birthday shoutouts that I have today. And both of them are my brothers. I'll start with this first one. This first one I actually met, believe it or not, even though this was technically his first year at Trinity-Pawling. He had been no stranger to the boarding school system before. Yes, he actually went to a school called Canterbury. So, Canterbury was actually a co-ed school, by the way. And with that said, I met him, and his older brother was actually the head prefect the year before I was there. So that was really cool. But at the time I didn't really think much of it until the end of the year, but I'll explain. See, his older brother, who was the head prefect, was also a wrestler, so he was going into wrestling too. But I do believe he was also more into lacrosse as well. If I'm wrong about that, I am really sorry. But yeah, wrestling and lacrosse were the two sports I know he did. And he was also a bit of an actor too. So, yeah, this guy was super duper really classy, really awesome. Another cool fact about his family is that his little brother was in 7th or 8th grade when I was there, and he wrestled too. And his mom worked there as one of the receptionists, I believe. Either she was a receptionist, or she worked in the library, or she worked at the school store. She did something, I know that. The point is, this family was everywhere at Trinity-Pawling. And which is why it made perfect sense, as well as the fact that I was incredibly happy for the fact that at the end of the year, this particular brother, whose birthday today, like his brother before and his brother after, can you say dynasty, ladies and gentlemen, became a head prefect. The head prefect. I was so happy for him. I shook his hand, gave him a hug, saying congratulations. I did the same thing to his parents, because I do believe his parents were there. I remember at least doing that for his mother. So, yeah. Funny enough, him and another guy who became a prefect of that same class, as well as another person whose mother I gave a shout out to a few weeks ago, the three of them together were the three best friends that anybody could have, like from The Hangover. Actually, to go into more detail, the other one who became a prefect was actually another wrestling teammate of mine. And the other one was actually and I mentioned this before, the manager for the cross-country team. So yes, the three best friends that anybody could have. These three guys were awesome, but we're focusing on one of them today because today is their birthday. So, happy birthday, man. That is awesome. I really hope you enjoy your day. And now I should get into another brother of mine whose birthday is today. And this can be really difficult for me to talk about because he is no longer with us. And his cause of death was something that we hear about far too often, particularly recently with Anthony Bourdain. Yeah. So, I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you about this guy, because it's actually both really funny when in terms of getting to know him, but also very sad as to what happened in the end. When I first arrived at Trinity-Pawling, I actually joined cross country because I couldn't play football at Trinity-Pawling because they can only take 4 PGs, and they picked out their 4 PGs long beforehand. Not that I was any good enough to make any difference. Anyway, after the first Sunday when we had our first big team race, and I made 8th, I was devastated, but at least I came close. And then this particular brother of mine shows up from South Carolina. And yes, ladies, he had the accent. For whatever reasons, ladies get very disappointed when they don't mention, when it's not mentioned that they have the accent. But anyway, he showed up, and wouldn't you know it, now I have to fight tooth and nail even harder to make the top 7, which I've said before I eventually did, but again, it was not easy. Between him and the other brother of mine who had passed away, who was a basketball player, the one with the afro, the one that I mentioned, it was not easy. But eventually all 3 of us ended up making the top 7. With me being number 7, obviously. But I'd rather make the top 7 and be recognized for it, because I definitely worked hard for it. Honestly, all 3 of us were great athletes in our own right. But this particular athlete, whose birthday is today, he, from what I remember, was a very great lacrosse player. And again, I'm pretty sure South Carolina really is big into lacrosse, so that helps. And it's funny because when I say that he showed up out of nowhere, I mean, he showed up like after the first week of practice is over, as well as the other guy who showed up after I finally made the top 7. So it's like in The Incredibles, which I'm seeing the sequel this evening, saying, no matter how many times you save the world, it's always needs saving again. You know, it was like that philosophy, but again, I eventually made the top 7, and they were able to they made the top 7 already because they were that good. But the weekend that he died, it was right before the holiday season, before we would go home for Christmas break. And when we had his funeral service for him, it was actually quite interesting because it was then I learned that his mother is Episcopalian and his father is Jewish. So when we had his funeral service for him, we had both a priest and a rabbi. And it's not a joke because I never said anything about the fact that I never said they walked into a bar. This is not a joke, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not trying to make a joke right now either, I swear. Anyway, I thought it was really fascinating because, funny enough, the Jewish religion really has always fascinated me. I mean, I'm Catholic, and everyone knows that Catholicism and Judaism are 2 halves of the same whole. You know, the Last Supper, which is portrayed in Christianity, was a Passover Seder. And, you know, one of my all-time favorite cartoon characters, Tommy Pickles. He's Jewish. Yeah, from Rugrats. Rugrats was a pretty good show, by the way. You should watch that. But, when I was, this is going to sound really bad, but when I was like under 10, I had no idea what like kosher was. So whenever I heard that Jewish people don't eat ham, I'm like, what's wrong with ham? Ham is delicious. Ham is one of the most delicious things on the planet. But again, dumb kid, I would not know this unless someone told me. Funny enough, though, just recently, I actually learned more into what goes into the process of being kosher, even though there are plenty of Jewish people who aren't kosher, but I actually want to learn more about it because I thought it was worth learning. It helps broaden my horizons, and plus it helps me be able to understand people in a way I wouldn't do it before. So that's why I do my research, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm actually going to put a link into a certain show called The Meat Show, that in which this episode actually talks about doing kosher barbecue. So you don't want to miss any of that. But I'm totally digressing. So you guys are probably wondering, for this brother of mine who died, who was a great lacrosse player, who ran cross country with you, was a teammate with you, was one of your brothers, you're saying, because believe it or not, he actually died long before I had a Facebook. So you guys are now probably wondering, if he died before he had a Facebook and before he could friend you, how are you able to say his birthday is today? Well, believe it or not, I'm actually friends with his father on Facebook. A while back, after I dedicated that one video back on March 2nd to the other brother of mine who died, his birthday was today, and dedicated that video to him, I thought, I wonder if it would be okay if I can ask permission to dedicate his birthday, this particular brother's birthday today, if I could dedicate this video to him and his family. So I messaged his father, and he gave me the okay, and so I want to dedicate this video to him and his family today, as well as the family of the other brother I mentioned whose birthday is today. So, yes, I dedicate this video to both of my brothers and their respective families. That's a little unbecoming. Anyway, to the brother who's alive, I really hope you enjoy your special day with your family. Give them all the love they deserve. I hope you enjoy that day. And to the family whose brothers passed away, know that when it comes to missing him, I think I can speak on behalf of all of his brothers when I say, and me of course, but I speak for all of us when I say, when it comes to missing him, you will never be alone. I don't want you to ever feel that way. Wow, and that was a little tiring. Although speaking of tiring, it does go into the next video involving the history of competitive Pokemon gaming. So yeah, look forward to all that. Look forward to the FIFA World Cup, and look forward to the rest of this week, because everything's looking pretty bright on the horizon. So like, favorite, share, and hit that subscribe button. I could really use the support. I'm humbled I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy today. I'm hopeful that we all have a wonderful day today. And remember, if you guys ever want to talk, if you guys ever want to chat, and that's a really big thing I want to get into as of right now before I end the video, because whether it's my brother or whether it's Anthony Bourdain or someone, if you are feeling bad, if you are feeling depressed, or if you are feeling just downright awful, please, 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 please talk to someone. Talk to your family who loves you. Talk to your friends, or talk to me. Talk to me! Please, talk to me! I'd love to be able to help you. I could definitely help you, because honestly, when my brother had passed away, it helped me realize something. But I'll get into that 6 months from now. So, yeah, please talk to me whenever you feel down, or if you want to chat at all, and I will always, always, always have your back. So take care, everybody.